If you work with pumps, chutes or anything that moves abrasive material for a living, you already know this question. Comes up constantly. Rubber or metal? Rubber or metal? Elastomers or alloys? Today at KETO we're breaking down exactly when each one wins and why picking the wrong part will cost you more than the part itself. Let's start with elastomers. Natural rubber, polyurethane, hypalon, neoprene. These are the materials you'll find lining slurry pumps, hoses and chutes anywhere fine abrasive materials are moving through a system. Here's why they perform so well in that role. Elastomers flex when fine particles, think sand, silt, tailings or fine slurry hits a rubber surface, the material actually deforms and absorbs the impact instead of letting it cut a groove. That's what gives elastomers their standout resistance to wear. The second benefit is chemical resistance. In mining and mineral processing, you're often not just dealing with abrasion, you're dealing with acidic or corrosive slurry at the same time. A neoprene or a hypalon lining can shrug off the chemical exposure in a way that metal simply can't. The third is lightweight. A rubber lined component is dramatically lighter than its metal equivalent. That matters for installation, for maintenance crews, swapping liners or shutdowns, and reducing the overall load on equipment. Rubber, metal, oh God. And the fourth is cost. Almost all cases, elastomers are the lowest cost option compared to metal. The one exception is when you need a genuine custom one-off part. Molding a single unique elastomer component can actually push the price above the metal equivalent, but for standard parts, elastomer is usually the cheaper choice. You'll typically see elastomers doing their best work anywhere fine slurry is being handled. Slurry pump casings, impellers, hoses and chutes. Anywhere the particle size is small and the chemistry is aggressive. Now let's flip to the other side. Metals. Chrome iron, duplex, stainless steel, cast steel. These are materials that you reach for when the job description changes. And first, this is the big one. Metals are far better at coping with large particles, where rubber can actually get cut or torn by coarse rock or large aggregate chunks. A hard metal alloy, like chrome iron, shrugs it off. The larger the particle size, bigger the difference you'll see. If you're pumping gravel or crushed ore or coarse waste rock, metal is doing the job rubber physically cannot do. Second is high temperatures. Elastomers degrade and lose their properties as heat rises. Metals like duplex stainless steel keep their strength and corrosion resistance, even in genuinely hot process environments. Think hot process water, slag handling, or elevated temperature slurry. Metal is the way to go. And the third is tip speed. This one is less obvious, but it matters a lot. Metal impellers can run at much higher tip speeds without suffering damage, and the higher tip speed is what you need if you want to generate higher head. So anywhere you need high head applications, metal is typically the material of choice. Not because rubber can't handle the abrasion, but rubber simply can't handle the speed you need. That's why you'll find metals dominating in coarse particle duty, high temperature applications and high head duty. Think gravel pumps, primary crushing circuits, and pumps built to push slurry a long way vertically or through a long pipeline. So here's the simplest way to think about it. Ask yourself these three questions. What's my particle size distribution? What's my temperature and chemical environment? And how much head do I actually need? So if you're dealing with fine abrasive slurry, corrosive chemistry, and a standard part rather than a custom one-off, elastomer wins, and it's usually cheaper too. If you're dealing with coarse large particles, high heat, or you need high head, which means running the impeller at a higher tip speed than an elastomer can survive, metal wins. In the real world, a lot of processing circuits actually use both. Rubber lined components for the fine slurry side, metal components for the coarse feed side. It's not always an either or decision, it's about matching the material to the job. Remember, this is just a guide. There's a huge variety between elastomers and between metal alloys, and we haven't even looked at ceramic options yet. So don't get locked into one type if you've got a complex slurry. That's the breakdown, elastomers versus metal. Next time you're specifying a liner, an impeller or wear part, come back to these three questions: particle size, environment and heat. Get those right and you'll be on the right path. Thanks for watching. This has been KETO.